Roman religion was a vibrant and complex system of beliefs and practices, deeply intertwined with the daily lives of its people. It played a central role in the lives of the ancient Romans, influencing their decisions, actions, and societal norms. From grand public ceremonies that showcased the power and unity of the state to intimate household rituals that reinforced family bonds, religion permeated every aspect of Roman society. This intricate system did not emerge in isolation, but was a product of centuries of cultural exchange and adaptation. It was profoundly shaped by the beliefs and practices of other cultures, most notably the Etruscans and the Greeks, whose influences can be seen in many aspects of Roman religion. The Roman pantheon, home to a multitude of gods and goddesses, bore the imprint of these cultural encounters, reflecting a rich tapestry of borrowed and adapted elements. Over centuries, the Romans absorbed and adapted foreign deities and religious practices, creating a unique and diverse religious landscape. This made Roman religion a fascinating example of syncretism, where different belief systems were blended into a cohesive whole. Syncretism is the fusion of different belief systems, and in Rome it was a dynamic process that enriched their religious and cultural life. This essay delves into the origins of Roman religion, tracing its roots back to the early influences and practices that shaped its development. We will explore its evolution under Etruscan and Greek influence, examining how these cultures left an indelible mark on Roman religious traditions. We will examine the major Roman deities and their roles in Roman society, understanding their significance and the functions they served. Finally, we will trace the enduring legacy of Roman religion in Western culture, observing how its symbols and practices continue to resonate today. Roman religion, in its complexity and adaptability, reflects the pragmatic and inclusive nature of Roman society, showcasing their ability to integrate and harmonize diverse influences. Understanding its origins and evolution provides invaluable insights into the cultural dynamics that shape the Roman world and continue to influence Western civilization, offering a window into the past that helps us comprehend the present. The earliest forms of Roman religion were rooted in animism and ancestor worship. Animism is the belief that spirits inhabit all aspects of the natural world. Romans saw spirits in trees, rivers, mountains, and even in everyday objects. These spirits, known as noumena, possessed powers that could influence human lives for both good and ill. Ancestor worship, a practice found in many ancient cultures, was equally important in early Roman religion. Romans believed that the spirits of their ancestors continued to exert influence over the living. They honored these spirits with household shrines and offerings. This practice reflected the importance of family and lineage in Roman society. These early beliefs, though simple in structure, formed the bedrock of Roman religious consciousness. They fostered a sense of interconnectedness between the human and the spiritual realms. This would remain a defining characteristic of Roman religion throughout its evolution. The Etruscans, a sophisticated civilization that predated the Romans in Italy, exerted a profound influence on the development of Roman religion. One of the most significant Etruscan contributions was the practice of augury. Augury is the art of interpreting omens, particularly the flight and behavior of birds, to discern the will of the gods. The Etruscans believed that the gods communicated their favor or displeasure through signs and portents. Skilled augurs or priests were employed to interpret these signs. They advised Roman leaders on important matters of state and religion. Augury became deeply embedded in Roman religious and political life. It remained an important element of Roman decision-making for centuries. The Etruscan influence on Roman religion extended beyond augury. The Romans adopted and adapted Etruscan deities and religious practices. They integrated them into their own evolving belief system. The Etruscan legacy in Roman religion is a testament to the cultural exchange that shaped early Roman civilization. The most profound external influence on Roman religion came from the Greeks, whose culture and mythology were deeply intertwined with their daily lives and spiritual beliefs. The Greeks, with their rich mythology and pantheon of gods, provided the Romans with a new framework for understanding their own deities, offering a more elaborate and structured mythological system. This process of cultural assimilation is known as interpretatio Graeca, meaning interpretation through Greek culture, where Roman gods were equated with Greek gods, blending their attributes and stories. Through interpretatio Graeca, the Romans identified their own gods with Greek counterparts, creating a syncretic blend that enriched Roman religious practices and iconography. Drawing on Greek myths and iconography, the Romans were able to deepen their understanding of their own deities, incorporating Greek elements into their worship and artistic representations. For instance, the Roman god Jupiter, originally associated with the sky and weather, became identified with the Greek god Zeus, the king of the gods, thus inheriting Zeus's attributes and myths. Similarly, Juno, the Roman goddess of marriage and childbirth, was assimilated with Hera, Zeus's wife, and the queen of the Greek gods, merging their roles and stories. Minerva, the Roman goddess of wisdom and warfare, found her counterpart in Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare, blending their attributes and iconography. Athena's strategic prowess and wisdom were seamlessly integrated into Minerva's character, enriching the Roman goddess's narrative and significance. This fusion of Roman and Greek deities resulted in a richer, more complex Roman mythology, where the gods' stories and attributes were interwoven, creating a tapestry of cultural and religious synthesis. The Romans' approach to religion was remarkably pragmatic and inclusive. They readily incorporated foreign deities and religious practices into their own belief system. This process, known as syncretism, is a hallmark of Roman religion. The Romans were less interested in imposing their beliefs on conquered peoples. They preferred to find common ground and assimilate foreign gods into their pantheon. A prime example of syncretism is the fusion of the Celtic goddess Sulis with the Roman goddess Minerva. Sulis was a water goddess worshipped at the hot springs in Bath, England, which the Romans called Aquae Sulis. The Romans identified Sulis with their own Minerva, creating the composite deity Sulis Minerva. This fusion of Celtic and Roman religious traditions illustrates the Romans' willingness to embrace and adapt foreign beliefs. This open-mindedness contributed to the stability and longevity of the Roman Empire. The Roman pantheon was a complex hierarchy of gods and goddesses, each with their own distinct domains and responsibilities. This intricate system reflected the Romans' understanding of the world around them and their desire to explain natural phenomena, human emotions, and societal structures through divine intervention. At the apex of this hierarchy stood the deconsentes, the 12 most important deities in the Roman pantheon. These gods and goddesses were considered the principal deities who governed various aspects of life and the universe. The deconsentes were analogous to the 12 Olympian gods of Greek mythology, reflecting the strong influence of Greek religion on Roman beliefs. This cultural exchange enriched Roman religious practices and added layers of complexity to their mythology. Jupiter, the king of the gods, reigned supreme over the heavens and the earth. He was often depicted wielding a thunderbolt, symbolizing his power to control the weather and enforce justice. His wife, Juno, held dominion over marriage, childbirth, and women's affairs. She was revered as the protector of the state and the special counselor of women. Minerva, the goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare, embodied the intellectual and martial prowess of the Romans. She was also associated with arts and crafts, making her a multifaceted deity. Mars, the god of war, represented the military might and expansionist ambitions of Rome. He was one of the most venerated gods, especially by soldiers who sought his favor before going into battle. Other major deities included Mercury, the swift-footed messenger of the gods. He was also the god of commerce, communication, and travelers, making him a vital figure in daily Roman life. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, and desire, she played a crucial role in myths and was believed to have the power to influence human emotions and relationships. Apollo, the god of music, poetry, and prophecy, he was also associated with healing and the sun, making him a versatile and widely worshipped deity. Diana, the goddess of the hunt and the moon, she was also a protector of the wilderness and women, embodying the duality of nurturing and fierce independence. Ceres, the goddess of agriculture and fertility, She was essential to the Romans' agricultural society, ensuring bountiful harvests and the fertility of the land. Vulcan, the god of fire and the forge, he was the divine blacksmith, crafting weapons for the gods and symbolizing the transformative power of fire. And Neptune, the god of the sea. He controlled the oceans and was worshipped by sailors and those who depended on the sea for their livelihood. These deities were not merely distant figures of myth and legend. They were actively worshipped and invoked in daily life, with rituals and offerings made to gain their favor. They were deeply integrated into the fabric of Roman society. Their presence was felt in every aspect of life, from politics and war to family and agriculture. Their favor was sought in times of war and peace. Romans believed that the gods' blessings were essential for success and prosperity. Their festivals were celebrated with great pomp and circumstance. These events were not only religious but also social occasions that reinforced community bonds. Their images adorned temples, public buildings, and private homes. Statues and altars dedicated to these gods were common sights, serving as constant reminders of their divine presence and influence.